A blissful day to all of you. I'm Mary Rose Piadalan, and now I will discuss the social model of disability. What we need to understand about social model and its framework is that they have a strong yet subtle way of influencing a person's belief, behaviors, and value systems. For example, a Filipino born and raised in the United States who comes to the Philippines would most likely act more American than Filipino, not because he is resisting his roots or ikinakaila na niya yung identity or pinagmulan niya, but because of his exposure to Americans, not Filipinos. Aakto na siya na kung paano ang gawin ng mga Americans kasi doon siya nasanay at nakamulatan na niya. Maaring maging fluent siya mag-English o kaya naman ay liberated siya at hindi conservative gaya nating mga Filipinos. At sa lifestyle naman, he or she is not into rice when eating breakfast but more on loaf breads and vegetable salads. He may not have been raised this way intentionally, but constant interaction with others of a particular culture can strongly influence a person's way of life. Clough and Corbett 2000 points out that the social or sociological model becomes society's reaction to how the biomedical perspective viewed disability. Kung doon sa biomedical perspective ay tumitingin sa physical condition ng individual, what is wrong with an individual in order for them to be cured, at ang goal of intervention ay is to cure someone condition into its highest extent possible. Sa social model naman ayon kay Mike Oliver, a lecturer in the 1980s who coined the term social model and is considered one of its main proponents, wrote a position paper directly reacting against how the medical field has been reinforcing a disabling view of PWDs. According to the sociological response, disability occurs as a result of society's lack of understanding of individual differences. Hindi dapat tumitingin kung ano bang hindi tama sa tao or anong kulang sa parts ng katawan niya, something like that. That we need to understand what an individual need according to his or her condition. PWDs are seen as disabled not because they are deficient but because society insists they are deficient and disadvantaged. For example ko dito ay yung kaklase namin dati na may hairy lip or cleft lip. That's why hindi siya makapag-pronounce ng maayos na salita. Magaling naman siya sa written works pero hindi siya nakakapagsalita ng maayos tuwing tinatawag ng teacher namin sa recitation or reportings. Kapag nakikita siya ng iba, akala nila deficient na siya or hindi na niya kayang gawin lahat dahil sa kanyang condition. Not knowing na unproductive niyang tao, na unproductive niya pa din dahil sobrang galing niya mag-drawing, mag-portrait, paintings, then tinuturuan niya ako kahit hindi ko siya maintindihan. And dagahan signal siya minsan, meaning nito, kaya nakikita natin na deficient yung tao dahil yun ang akala ng society. While on the other hand, norms, after all, are determined by society. Professor David Pfeiffer challenges the concept of norms. It depends upon the concept of normal. That is, being a person with disability which limits my mobility means that I do not move about in a so-called normal way, na kapag balumpo ka, hindi ka na normal na makakagala. But what is the normal way to cover a mile? Some people would walk. Some people would ride a bicycle or a bus or in a taxi or their own car. Others would use a board or inline roller blades. Some people would use wheelchairs. There is, I argue, no normal way to travel a mile according to Kaplan 2000. Kumbaga, walang makakapagsabi kung alin dyan ang normal way kasi lahat naman yan ay way of transportation. Kung normal na maglakad, hindi ba't dapat ring nating isipin na normal rin lang na naka-wheelchair? That's why it depends on the society's concept of normal. The underlying principle of the social model of disability is that disability is a social construct where standards and limitations that society places on specific groups of people are what disable a person. With this perspective, everything from government laws to education, to employment opportunities, to access to communal facilities take on a different meaning. Kumbaga, hindi naman talaga yung impairment ng tao yung nakakapaglimita sa kanya na gumawa, kundi mas naghihindered pa sa kanya yung standard at limitation ng society. For example, dito natin ay yung case ni Mara at Jana. For instance, Mara, a person with paraplegia, a condition that causes impaired functioning of the legs, who uses a motorized wheelchair, should be able to go around on her own. The mayor in her town put up an elevator by the footbridge to help people get to the top easily without having to climb up the stairs. Although there are facilities in the footbridge to get her from one side of the highway to the other, she wonders how she could get to the footbridge from her house. Public transportation, unfortunately, is not accessible from her home, and even if it were, none of the transports would be able to take a wheelchair. Jana, on the other hand, also have paraplegia but lives in a neighboring towns as Maras, where the local government provides shuttles for those with physical disabilities. She has a wheelchair herself, though it is not motorized. Despite this, Jana is able to go around by herself because her town provides continuous access from the one point to the next. Si Mara at Jana ay parehas may paraplegia or di makalakad, ngunit bakit mas napapadali ang transportation ni Jana kaysa kay Mara? Yung pangangailangan ni Mara kasi ay hindi naman lubusang napoprovide ng local governments nila. Samantalang itong kay Jana, may pa-shuttle pa yung local government nila or yung van na mababa yung pinakasahig tapos kayang padaanin yung wheelchair. This example shows that what is truly disabling is not a physical condition the way the medical model would adhere to, but the lack of opportunities and restrictions given to a person, as the social model would push for. At dito sa figure na ito, maipapakita kung ano ba talaga yung humahadlang or what hinders a person who have impairment. The barriers in the society or the environment, attitude, organization, and so on. While the World Health Organization 1980 differentiates between disability and impairment. Impairment is seen as any loss or abnormality of psychological or anatomical structure or function, while disability refers to any restrictions or lack resulting from an impairment of ability to perform an activity in a manner or within the range considered normal for a human being. Kunyari, yung taong may leg injury, impairment yung tawag sa problem sa tissue level at crack ligaments ng leg, kung kaya't nagkakaroon ng disability dahil sa impairment yon. Because an individual have a leg impairment, then this impairment disable him or her from walking. Most people seem to confuse the two terms, most of the time equating them to each other. But the social model, however, reiterates that impairment should be seen as normal aspect of life, and when it happens, it should not cause a stir. Instead, society must plan in anticipation of possible impairment occurrences so as not to disable anyone. Dapat tinitingnan natin sila na normal lang yun para hindi sila ma-discriminate at magkaroon ng diversity between normals. Kumbaga, dapat magplano ang society ng possible solution para hindi maramdaman ng mga PWDs na nakakaiba sila. Kaplan 2000 agrees that if disability were to be seen as something natural and expected, it could change the way we design our systems and our environments. For example, it took me several years of struggling with a heavy door to my building, sometimes having to wait until a person stronger came along, to realize that the door was an accessibility problem, not only for me, but for others as well. And I did not notice until one of my students pointed it out that the lack of signs that could be read at my university forced people with mobility impairments to expend a lot of energy unnecessarily searching for rooms and offices. Although I have encountered this difficulty myself on days when walking was exhausting to me, I interpreted it automatically as a problem arising from my illness, as I did with the door, rather than as a problem arising from the built environment having been created for too narrow a range of people and situations. Kaya dapat natin munang alamin kung paano natin ituturing yung mga may impairments. Kagaya ng individual dito, may isip niya kasing kasalanan niya at siya talaga ang may problema. Hindi yung built-in environment or facility ang may problema, kundi siya mismo. Kagaya ng mahirap naman talagang buksan yung pinto. Pero dahil physically impaired siya, ang maiisip niya ay siya yung may kakulangan or mahina siya. That's what Wendell stated as cited in Kaplan 2000. Yung cultural habit regarding the condition of the persons runs deep and as the source of the problem, not the built environment or the social organization of activities. So that's all for today. Thank you, keep safe, God bless, and I hope you learned something.